Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to solve a very popular greedy algorithm problem, that is assign cookies. So basically we are given two arrays. This G represent the greed factor of each child and S represent the size of the cookie. Right, and our goal is very simple. We want to satisfy as many children as possible. A child is only going to be satisfied if the cookie size is greater than or equals to 1. This condition is already given in this question. Right, so let's understand this question more practically. So first we are given two array, right? So one array is for the children, greed factor, which indicates the greed factor of each children, right? And we have the another array which represent the size of the cookie. And what we need to do, we need to assign cookie to each child and make them all satisfied. Okay, and we have some conditions. Along with that, we're going to be satisfying the cookie to each child. So for example, the first child having greed factor 4. So how can we assign a cookie to him? First of all, we need to check that condition, that do we have a cookie whose size is going to be greater than or equals to 4? If that size of cookie is present inside of this cookie array, then only we're going to assign that cookie to this child. For example, this child having greed factor 4, right? So we're going to check in cookie array that do we have a cookie whose size is greater than equals to 4? Yes, right now in this array we have this. So what we're going to do, we're going to assign this cookie to this child, and now this child is going to be condemned, means satisfied, right? And then we're going to be moved to the next child. For example, this child having cookie factor a greed factor 2, right? Then we're going to check inside of a cookie array that do we have a cookie whose size is going to be equals to 2 or greater than equals to 2. Do we have that cookie in this cookie array? Yes, we have this. Yes, we have this. So if we have this, then we're going to assign this cookie to him, and now this child is also going to satisfy, right? Now next we have a greed factor 6. Then again we're going to be check inside this key array that do we have a cookie whose size is greater than equals to 6? No, right now we didn't have. Means this child is not going to satisfy. Is that clear? Then again we're going to be check again to the and then we're going to move to the next. We're going to be checking again. The greed factor is 1. Then we're going to check inside of a cookie array that do we have any cookie whose size is equals to or greater than equals to 1? Yes, we have. So we're going to assign this cookie to him, and now this child is also going to satisfy, right? So this is what the question is, right? And how do we assign these cookies to each child? How can we do this? First of all, right? So for that, the key idea here is to use a greedy approach, right? And our first step is to sort both of the array, right? So let's sort this first. So I'm going to sort them. I'm going to write over here the sorted array. So the G array is going to be looks like this. So we have 1, then we have 2, and we have 4, and we have 6. Is that sorted? Yeah. Now it's 2. Yeah. S array is going to be looks like this. 1, then we have 2 times 2's, 2, 2, and we have 3, and the next at the end we have 5. All right. So first of all, we have done the sorting part, right? And why we sort this? Why we sort this both of this array? Why we do this so? Because we are just trying to satisfy the least greedy child first. This is the least greedy child, right? Yes. using the smallest available cookie. We have the smallest available cookie, right? We're just trying to do this first of all. Is that clear? Then next we're going to use two pointers, right? One pointer I is for children and other pointer J is for cookie, right? So let's take two pointer. We have I pointer, so I'm gonna like this, yeah, and we have a J pointer, right? Okay. So, and also we're going to keep a variable count to track how many children are satisfied, right? So I'm gonna take one more variable, which is going to be our count, right? Okay. Now, listen carefully. What we are going to do is, at each step, we're going to check, can the current cookie satisfy the current child? Right? So if the cookie size is greater than or equals to the child's greed, we're going to assign that cookie to that child, right? And so we're going to increase the count and move to the next child, right? This is what we're actually going to do. Now let's do this practically. For example, the first child having greed factor 1, right? And our J pointer is pointed to a cookie whose size is 1. So we're going to assign this cookie to this child, right? So we're going to assign this cookie to this child, means this child is going to be satisfied. And if this child is going to be satisfied, then we're going to increment our count by 1, means our count is equals to 1, right? And because this child is satisfied, so we're going to move to the next child, and also we're going to move to the next cookie, means we need to move our pointers one step forward, right? So let's select this and move this one step forward, and also this J pointer again one step forward. Yes, now we're going to check again. The next child having greed factor 2, and this J pointer is pointed to a cookie whose size is 2, right? And which is going to be satisfying our condition, right? This satisfying our condition. So we're going to assign this cookie to this child, and now this child is going to be satisfied. So we're going to increment our count by 1, means our count is going to be 2, right? And because this child is satisfied, so we're going to move to the next child, right? And also we're going to move towards the next cookie. So we're going to move our pointer again one step ahead, right? Again we're gonna select them, and yeah, look, right now a child having greed factor 4, and our J pointer is pointed to a cookie whose size is 2, and here our condition is going false, means here our condition is not fulfilling, right? So if it is not fulfilling, so we're going to move our J pointer one step ahead, right? We're going to check in this array that whether a cookie is present whose size is greater than or equals to 4. So for that, we're going to move our I pointer one step ahead, right? So we're going to select this J pointer again, and we're going to move again. Now look, we have 3. So is that 3 is greater than equals to 4? No, again no. Again this condition is false, right? So again we're going to move our J pointer one step forward like this. Now look, 5. So 5 is greater than equals to 4. Yes, it is greater than, right? Means we're going to assign this cookie to this child, And now this child is going to be satisfied. And if it is satisfied, so we're going to increment our count by 1, right? So it's going to be 3. And look, our J pointer is exhausted. If any one of the pointer of these arrays is going to be exhausted, so at that point, we're just going to return, right? This is gonna be the end, right? We're going to return the total count, right? And this is how we need to solve this problem. Now let's see the coding part. Okay, so what I told you is to first we need to sort both of the array, right? So g dot sort. Okay, so we have just sorted this array, and then we're going to sort this s dot sort. Yes. Then yeah, we wanted 2 pointers. So I pointer, I'm gonna take them like this: I comma j equals to 0 comma 0. And now we're going to yeah, we also want a variable count, right? So that we're going to keep track of that satisfied children's. So there we're going to be store in this count, we're going to store that. Yes. Now we're going to apply a while loop. So while our I is going to be less than len of g, right? And j is going to be less than len of s. Is that? So we're going to apply the condition. This condition is already given in the question, right? If s of j is going to be greater than equals to g of I, right? This condition is given, right? So in this condition means we're going to increment our count. Here we get the satisfied child, right? Satisfied child. So we're going to increment our count, and also we're going to move towards the next child. So for that we're going to increment I plus equals to 1, right? Yes. And yes, in all the condition, we need to move towards the next cookie. Whether that child is satisfied or not satisfied, in every iteration, we're going to move towards the next cookie, right? So for that, we're going to increment our j for each iteration, right? So j equals to 1. And at the end, we're going to return count. Return count. Is that clear? And now let's run this code. Accepted, and let's submit this. So basically, this is the classic greedy strategy, right? So I just wanted to tell you is that always use the smallest valid resource first to maximize the total result, right? So it is submitted, and that's it. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye bye.